Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, June 14th, 2020. Happy Flag Day. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many Search for Truth rules already given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And it's really important for the host lives to not get snippy, even when the souls are ignoring that request, because host lives on planet Earth, no host lives on planet Earth, no lives of this density, planet Earth, ground zero, have legal standing under divine law. Legal standing under divine law was granted to the souls, and the souls are supposed to stay in the lives for the duration, but the souls and lives have come unhinged from each other, and the souls have taken the legal standing under divine law with them.
That's right.
Leaving the lives without legal standing. Nonetheless, these two host lives have the soul plan to do what it takes to inspire a divine miracle to stop the destruction on planet Earth, this destruction that is being carried out by humanity using tools sent in by the spirit world. And the vast majority of the destructive implements began around 1750.
That's right.
With the Industrial Revolution, although there were some that went back to the 1400s, the cannons, there were weapons of mass destruction before the Industrial Revolution.
Oh yeah.
But the Industrial Revolution has been the big problem. And now we, as a collective, as a society, are in the end times, and what that means is open to discussion. The angels have consistently said it's imminent, it's coming, and there's a group of climatologists who are posting their work on Arctic News. Maybe it's a blog spot or something like that. And there's 28 of them, these scientists who are posting. And they have all kind of like walked away from the mainstream of science. They're not getting paid for it, presumably, and it's similar to what these host lives have done with regard to the spiritual community.
That's right.
Because our job was spiritual healing, spiritual teaching, teaching meditation, teaching angelically guided multidimensional energy healing for soul purpose, and in that process, we attempted to reach out to other spiritual leaders, trying to get the spiritual leaders to band together and speak to the masses and say, we've got to stop destroying God's planet. This is not humanity's planet to destroy. This is God's planet, and God is not happy with us.
Right.
And when we got that assignment was back in 2007 to start that outreach program, and we thought it would be easy, actually. We thought, oh good, we'll just email them and they'll say, oh, you're right, and we'll all speak together as one voice, and we can have this done by New Year's.
That's right.
And we've learned a lot since then. And the scientists, much the same, have also learned a lot since then. And on ArcticNews.com, for example, and I might have that wrong, it might be arcticnewsblogspot.org, or
right.
I don't know, but on Arctic News, they say that we've actually already passed the 2 degrees Celsius warming. That is the target that says we've got a big problem with a capital P. And the reason that mainstream science isn't reporting it is that mainstream science is moving the baseline from the historically agreed upon 1750, which is when the Industrial Revolution arguably began.
That's right.
And that's the date that's always historically been used since climatology was developed as a scientific field.
That's right.
And now the mainstream climatologists are no longer using 1750 as the baseline, because using 1750 as the baseline shows we've already passed the 2 degrees Celsius mark.
That's
and so they're just redefining the problem as if they can push numbers around on a paper and it changes the physics of the equation.
Exactly.
But it doesn't.
No.
And it's the same with the spiritual aspects of it. As friends, we're still all accountable for our soul plans. And pretending that we are not accountable for our soul plan does not negate the actual accountability.
No.
And pretending there is no God doesn't get rid of God and doesn't make God want to help us. So there are divine presences. They do have power over our births and rebirths, and when we die, as is inevitable, we will all be held accountable for what we did and did not do. And all of us who are breathing on Ground Zero planet Earth are supposed to be stopping the destruction. We're sure that that relates to all humans, and it's possible to all domesticants.
That's true.
Which includes humans, dogs, cats, horses, cattle, chickens.
That's right.
Any domesticated species. We think that stop the destruction blanket assignment applies to all domesticated species, including humans and chickens. So I think the point that somebody is trying to get to is that the angels have said it's imminent, and Arctic News blogspot also says it's imminent, according to the Arctic News 28 climatologists who have broken ranks with mainstream climatology. Somewhere between 2021 and 2026, there will be all of the climate change related issues that are going to render this planet unsuitable for life by humans. The angels have not said there's going to be extinction of humanity. The angels say these civilizations, these societies will be wiped out.
That's true.
It's over for human society. The angels have not said that humanity is going to go extinct. The blogspot scientists, the Arctic News scientists say, oh yeah, humanity's going extinct. And we're not going to get into that point, but the point is that now is the time for all of us in all dimensions. If we want to do something, if we want to have something on the record on our behalf for having done something to try, at least try to stop the destruction, it's really go time. And if there are guardian angels who are withholding karma from their charges because it's too complex, we would say, isn't it time to start smacking down those who are contributing to the status quo, contributing to the destruction? And anybody, fossil fuel executives, poison industry executives, anybody who's involved in large-scale tearing down of trees,
That's right.
whether it be agriculture or real estate development, this destruction of trees is an enormous problem. We're trying to store carbon. You know where carbon gets stored?
In trees.
In trees. And so it's beyond absurd to be attacking trees during this crucial era where, and it depends, Mother Mary says we have 4 years and a little bit, and maybe that 4 years and a little bit is until the big...
Exactly.
We don't know what she's talking about in terms of 4 years until what? But what she has said over and over is, we have 4 years and a little bit for your country to become carbon neutral. And it's possible that she's saying, and if you guys aren't even going to do that, then why would we want to help you at all?
That's right.
It's possible that that's the assignment that's been given to those with the resources to see whether or not anything of the civilization with resources or society with resources should remain. And we just are really fans of cleanliness.
That's true.
And easily available soap and the miracle of the hot shower, not to mention indoor plumbing, not to mention easily available food and safe places in which to sleep.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to live without that. We don't want to go back to what came before. And we as a society, as a species, are going to go back to what came before, or according to the Arctic News, people will no longer exist on planet Earth. Which could be fine. Maybe that's the better outcome. But we do know that the spirit world is really trying to salvage something, and so we would say it's go time for the spirit world also, based on this data.
That's true.
To get their earthly charges to do something. And the idea that has been promulgated for well over a year now is for the unused guardian angelhood to converge on the bad tail of the bell curve of karma, those who are pulling the engine of destruction the most, and just smash them publicly. Divine smitings, public smitings, hand of God smackdowns, so that everybody else says, ho ho, there is a God. It doesn't look like God is pleased with our planetary destruction. Maybe we should change our ways. And if the guardian angels want that on their record, that even just at the end they at least did something, won't that be better than nothing? And for each of us to consider, no matter what dimension we're in, we all have the same assignment of stopping the destruction. And it doesn't matter what we've already done. It obviously isn't enough, or the destruction would be stopping.
That's right.
And we continue to see the destruction amping up. It's like this frenzy of destruction now.
That's right.
Getting worse, not better. So whatever we're doing, it isn't enough. And there are many who are not trying at all. But they'll have their own accounting, and each of us is going to have an individual accounting, and it is coming. Unless you think you're going to be the one exception in all the universe. I wouldn't put money on that. What now? What now to stop the destruction? How may we be of service to stop the destruction in a fair and just way? There are some people who think, well, if the destruction of civilization is that imminent, probably what I, lazy person, shall do is simply go out and buy several gallons of ice cream and just eat my way through them and not do anything whatsoever to help.
That's right.
And enjoy the time we have. And you're going to feel terrible when you're called to that meeting that we all are called to when we shuffle off this mortal coil. You're going to feel really, really awful, and you're going to wish that you could go back in time and make a different choice, but that's not how the system works.
No.
And there are so many who say, all right, well then I shall be loving, but it's all in the definition of what love is. One of the climatologists who we have a lot of respect for, his name is Guy McPherson, he says something like, at the edge of extinction only love remains. And what our Ra would say is that it's all in the definition, because some people say LOVE and they mean enabling.
Sure.
Some people say love and they mean
control.
Control. Some people say love and they mean sex.
Sure.
Some people And this is a very rare definition, but in other dimensions, higher vibration presences, when they say love, they mean calling the beloved into his or her greatness, calling the beloved to step up into his or her destiny, his or her soul plan, and that nothing else is actually loving, and actually everything else is wounding. And so we have lived by that definition since we became aware of it, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe,
that's right.
Maybe longer. And many people are confused about what love is and what kindness is. And we think that enabling hurts everybody deeply. It's go time, friends. It's step up time. We don't know how long we'll have. Nobody knows how long we'll have, but the time is short. And it's short for all of us in this dimension planet combo pack. And that's the truth of it. And it's what the angels have said, and it's what these scientists have said who are refusing to fudge the data. The ones who are refusing to fudge the data say, it's really over, we've already passed the tipping point, there's already enough carbon released into the atmosphere that there's no stopping it now, that it is over.
Yeah.
And it could happen by next year or by 6 years from now, somewhere in that window of 2021 to 2026, depending on lots of other things. And that's what they say. So it's beyond getting your affairs in order, but it's getting your affairs in order in the larger scheme of things. You see, be prepared to meet your maker that's coming, and to do something, anything, to stop the destruction. Feels better than not doing anything. To have something you can say is, well, I stood up for this piece of land. I stood up for that area.
That's right.
It's better than nothing. It's a lot better than nothing.